right in front of my face, and I turn you into someone, a mood, a label, a storyline, and then I say you're gone. I wanna see you cry, but my eyes go dull with habit. I wanna know you got, but my mind keeps changing the subject. It's like you're waving in plain daylight, and I'm dreaming in the sun, like you're speaking through a human mouth, and I'm already someplace numb. I keep falling asleep and forgetting you right in front of my face. I keep calling it them while you're standing there in the same place. I wanna see you, God. I wanna know you, God. I wanna feel you in them, so my mind can't pretend and run. Wake me up right here. You show up as the barista, as the friend with messy timing, as the stranger with sharp edges, as the one I keep defining. And I miss you in the moment, I miss you in the tone, I miss you in the awkward pause, and then I go pray alone. I love you in the quiet, but I forget you in the crowded. I trust you in the ritual, but I doubt you when I'm wounded. So catch me when I'm drifting, when the old spell starts to cast, when my fuse is separate now, because that spell is strong and fast. I keep falling asleep and forgetting you right in front of my face. I keep calling at them while you're standing there in the same place. I wanna see you, God. I wanna know you, God. I wanna feel you in them, so my mind can't pretend and run. Wake me up in the first second, before my judgment has a name, before my history becomes prophecy, before I make you into blame. Put your light behind their eyes, put your peace beneath their words. Let me feel you like gravity, unarguable, undisturbed. Because I don't want a faith that only works when no one's in the room. I wanna recognize you instantly in every face I used to. I keep falling asleep, God, and you're right in front of my face. So wake me gently, wake me clearly in the middle of the place. I wanna see you, God. I wanna know you, God. I wanna feel you in them, God. Right here, where I forget.
Hi, and welcome. I'm Reverend Ricky, and I welcome you to Undefinable and Expansive's Sunday service. While we gather here together, and many of us do share common beliefs, please remember, We are not an organized religion, nor do we require a particular doctrine. Properly understood, Undefinable and Expansive is a universal spiritual creed made up of 49 statutes and open to every faith, path, and seeker. If you're new here, please check out UECreed.org. That's UECreed.org. Our community values. We are here to live the human experience. Showing up in community helps us grow. You matter exactly as you are. We give acceptance and receive acceptance. This is a safe place to be yourself. We learn spirituality through real experience. Unity matters more than labels. Thank you for joining us today.
I adore you, and I assassinate you in the same day. I love you in my prayers. I melt, I plead, I sing your name. I build a temple out of silence, and I call it fate. I light candles like they can prove it. I kneel like I'm finally true. I say I trust you, I surrender. Like surrender isn't what I do. But then a person walks toward me, and my devotion turns to stone. My eyes become a courtroom. My heart becomes a throne bone. I don't justice like them, I punish them in my mind. I strip the you out of your own creation and call it being refined. And I feel it, how sick the split is, how quickly I betray my tongue. I worship you in the abstract, then hate you when you're someone. I love you in the sanctuary, but I crucify you in the street. I say amen with trembling lips, then I reject you and wing me. And I am two-faced, God, I am double, I am torn, because I can't accept you in them. And on I beg you to accept me, like I'm worth what I refuse to give, like I'm the only one you should forgive. Forgive me for calling my hatred clarity.
I have been hurt before,
Hey,
and I made a religion out of fear. I learned to read a micro expression, like it could kill me if I'm not clear.
so I keep a blade behind my smile. I keep a lock inside my chest. I call my distance wisdom. I call my numbness rest. And when they don't love me perfectly, when they fail my private script, I don't just feel pain, I turn pain into a whip. I make them the face of rejection. I make them the proof I'm alone. Then I run back to you, begging for a mercy I won't know. It's tough seeing how I ask for softness while I harden into law. It's tough and accept you and well, and that I beg you to accept me like I'm worth what I refuse to give, like I'm the only one you should forgive.
So here's the confession I've been dodging.
I don't just fear rejection.
I become the thing I'm praying against.
I become the door slam shut.
If you are in everyone,
And my rage has been pointed at you. My contempt has been contempt for you.
my disgust has been disgust for you.
And the worst part, I call it righteousness. So what are you trying to show me?
That my spiritual love was safe love.
Love with conditions.
That's
love with distance.
Love that stays clean because it never touches blood.
You're showing me the place I split the world into worrying ways.
You're showing me how I demand you be gentle with me while I'm brutal with your face.
So break my private throne of judgment. Mine needs to be above. Take the knife out of my kindness.
Turn my devotion
Into love. Teach me to meet you where it costs me.
Hey, and welcome back. Today's focus is experiencing God, and it comes from the UE Statute 5, called Relationships. Please join me in this wonderful meditation about experiencing God. Settle into a comfortable posture. Let your hands rest easily if it feels safe. Allow your eyes to close or soften your gaze. Take a slow breath in through the nose and a gentle breath out. Again, inhale, unhurried, exhale. Releasing what you don't need to carry right now. Bring your attention to the simple fact of awareness. Notice that you are aware. Sounds may come and go. Sensations may shift. Thoughts may rise and fall. And yet something in you is here, witnessing it all. Without trying to define it, rest for a moment in that quiet knowing. I am aware. Now, let the breath become a gentle anchor. Feel the inhale arriving like a gift you don't have to earn. Feel the exhale leaving like an offering you don't have to force. With each breath, soften the body, the forehead, the jaw, the shoulders, the belly. Let yourself be held by this moment exactly as it is. If a thought arises, planning, judging, remembering, notice it with kindness. Don't argue with it. Don't follow it. Simply name it thinking and let it pass like a cloud. Beneath the movement of thought, return to what is steady, awareness itself. Now, invite a quiet question, not as a puzzle to solve, but as a door to open. What if God is not far away? What if the divine is not only an idea, but a living presence, closer than your next breath? As you inhale, silently receive. Here. As you exhale, silently release. Now. Here. Now. Here. Now. Let your attention widen. Notice the space around your body, the room, the air, the subtle sounds. Imagine that this space is not empty, but gentle, alive with a presence that does not demand, only offers. A presence that does not shame, only invites. Rest in the possibility that God is all things, always, always. Now bring to mind someone you've encountered recently. Someone easy or someone difficult. Notice what happens in you. Warmth, tension, longing, resistance. Without analyzing, simply observe. And softly consider, even this is a doorway. If love arises, let it be a glimpse. If resistance arises, let it reveal what wants to be healed. In either case, let it turn you back toward presence. Return again to the breath. Feel the ordinary miracle of being alive. Feel the steadiness of the ground beneath you. Let yourself rest in a simple prayer with no pressure to be spiritual. God, I am here. We are one. May we love and play together. May we celebrate our oneness. Thank you. Thank you. Sit for a few final breaths in quiet receptivity, not trying to grasp God, only allowing not reaching, only being. If you feel nothing, that's okay. Stillness is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is simply honest. When you're ready, gently deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Let the eyes open or lift the gaze. And carry this with you. The thought that God is you in the next breath, the next moment, the next relationship. Through love, and even through what resists love, always inviting you back to all that is. Thank you.
I keep slipping away from you, even while I'm looking right at you. God, I'm talented at absence. I can stand in a room full of your creation and still swear you're not there. I can call you mystery, call you distant, call you somewhere else, while you're literally staring back at me through a human face. My mind is a magician. It turns presence into personality. It turns sacred into annoying. It turns your rival into their problem. And then it says, see, no God here. But if you're in everyone, then my denial is is not neutral. It's a practice forgetting. It's me rehearsing blindness. So reveal yourself and then God's gone, my mind cannot pretend you aren't here. Show your face through theirs until my excuses fall apart. Lay your presence press through the ordinary until other becomes impossible. Until I can't look away and call it wisdom. Until I can't dismiss you and call it true. Make it obvious, make it undeniable. Because I've trained myself to escape. When I feel discomfort, I label. When I feel fear, I separate. When I feel shame, I judge first. So I don't have to feel how much I'm asking to be loved. I keep trying to meet you in clean places, in prayer, in rituals, in quiet music. But you keep meeting me in the messy places, in awkward conversations, in someone's tone, in a face that reminds me of what hurt. And I hate how fast I decide how quickly I exile you from the room just because you didn't arrive in the form I wanted. So don't just comfort me in private, interrupt me in public, catch me in the act of pretending. So reveal yourself and then God's on my mind cannot pretend you aren't here. Show your face through theirs until my excuses fall apart. Let your presence press through the ordinary until other becomes impossible. Until I can't look away and call it wisdom. Until I can't dismiss you and call it true. If I'm going to claim I love you, let that love survive contact. Let it survive disagreement. Let it survive try trigger. Let it survive the moment I wanna be right more than I wanna be real. Put your signature in that eyes, not as a concept, as a recognition, a quiet, unarguable yes. And when my mind starts narrating separation, let your presence override the story. Not violently, just clearly, like light turning on. Reveal yourself in them. God, not later, not someday. Now so my mind cannot pretend you aren't here. Show your face through theirs until denial has nowhere left to hide.
All beautiful stuff, isn't it? Now one of my favorite things. Thank you for sharing this space with us. And now, I'd like to introduce a warm and open spirit, the founder of the Undefinable and Expansive Creed, Reverend Devan Jesse Byrne. Welcome.
Hello, welcome. Yes, it's beautiful to have this focus, and I love that Ricky explained that our focus today was on experiencing God. However, our focus really is through relationships, and through relationships can we experience God. And that's something that's really impactful and difficult to grasp because of how we think of and define essentially what is a relationship. It's very difficult because we think we're grown up, we live, with separate bodies. And so we always experience communication with separate bodies. You're watching me right now as a separate body. I'm talking to you as if you're a separate body. So we can't deny our experience involves separate bodies. And yet there comes in these experiences, this discussion gets a little unusual when we start to say things like experiencing God or recognizing Christ, recognizing, Brahma, recognizing the universe, recognizing energy in everyone and through everyone. How can we say that? How can we even get involved in such a subject when it's so obvious the otherwise? When it's so obvious that we're separate, where you are you have your ways, and I have my ways, you have your likes, I have my likes, you might despise what I like, and so on. We have these obvious things that come into play, where it might be as simple as ketchup and mustard, right? It might be organic or, not. It might be whatever it is, your favorite color and mine. If you like my bald head or you don't. All these seeming facets and definitions of what we can say define us as a separate person with separate feelings, separate emotions, separate likes and dislikes. And yet we often can look at our lists of what would make the best relationship. And we have all this list that we go through, and how much of that, it's fascinating because how much of that is the same as everybody else's. Because there's an interesting thing at play here, because of what you want is really just to be loved through a relationship, right? You want to be accepted, you want them to care for you, you want to be taken care of, you want to have your abilities and whatever it is. You want to be yourself, be free, and yet tied down. So it's interesting because we have so many differences, but we want ourselves to be accepted for our differences. We have these separate definitions of ourselves, and yet we want to get into a relationship where essentially the same thing about everybody's relationship, except me for who I am. Accept me for who I am. And then you come into the relationship, I'm like this, 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 and yet it's not really who you are. And so it gets a little confusing for everybody around, and especially that person you're in a relationship with, because everyone, and you might not be aware of this or not, is actually aware of who you are. However, we all have to walk on our tippy toes on eggshells because of the definitions that you put in place of who you are. The putting of definitions in place, this is perfectly acceptable. This is who you are. This is the world. This is what you've been raised in. This is exactly, there's no issue here. I'm just simply saying, the problem in relationships is that you want them to accept you as you are, but you don't even know who you are. So if you don't even know who you are, how can you tell them who you are? You say, oh no, I like it when these things happen, I like it when that happens, the toilet seat needs to be down, you got to put the toilet paper this way, you got to do whatever it is, right? You have these definitions that say, I'm like this, I like this, I like this, I like that, I like this. Meaning, I have this covering up my reality. I have this covering up my reality. I'm this type of person covering up my reality. I'm that type of person covering up my reality. Do your masks, your covers, match mine? Do we have similar masks that we wear? Do I like your masks? Can I put up with those ones? Can I be okay without those other masks that are on my list? They're all masks. And yet it's hard to see this because we can't even see it in ourselves. So spirituality always comes back to recognizing what it is in ourselves that is spiritual. It's not about, whatever any other definition that I don't have right in mind. It's about recognizing what in you is spirit. What in you is truth. What in you is that essence. So yes, about experiencing God, as we discussed, through relationships can I recognize God. And you might be hearing it in the music that we're playing as well. It's easy to be on my knees, to be in meditation, to be in prayer, and say, oh God, I love you. Oh Spirit, I love you. Oh universe, I love you. Accept me. Help me to succeed. Open me up. And then you go out and you're like, I don't think so. And it's so easy to all of a sudden forget that your own acceptance that you're begging for does not need to be applied to somebody else because they don't know themselves. And yet you think you know who you are. How can you feel accepted as who you really are if you can't accept them as who they really are? And yes, relationships go in all different facets. We're not talking about just intimate love relationships. Yes, it's those too, but with your dog, with your cat, with your brother, with your sister, with your friends, with everyone you deal with. And I'll edit it. If we can. But it won't be streaming probably. Make sure it's going. That's why I want to be able to see things. And that's why I usually hear things too, because I recorded with no sound too often. I don't know where we're at, but so these indicators are our feelings. We feel something and we associate it to them, but we make it theirs and ours. And so we don't always recognize that, oh, they remind me of the mother I'm having problems with. Oh, they remind me of the trauma I had with my father. We don't always make that connection. And so we like to insist instead that I'm not going to go close. Not them. They are not welcome. They're not here. Nope. They are like that. Instead of, if I wanted to experience God, if I wanted to know truth, if I wanted to get out of this box in any sort of degree, if I wanted to have more peace in my life, then I'm required, but for myself, I'm required to give them the acceptance I want. I'm required to break them out of the box I see them in, which is my past trauma, that I'm projecting onto them. Break them out of that box so that I can be free. You see how that works? So it's a fascinating thing because all throughout this practice, as far as spirituality, it is in me. But I'm using everyone. I'm using life. I'm using I'm using you all, sorry to tell you. But for my own healing, for my own lesson. I am the one that believes you are separate. I am the one that can't see God. I am the one that's lost here. And I'm not talking about me. That's what I say. You can't say, oh yeah, it's Devan. Yeah, it's all his fault. Yeah, it's this guy. It's you. If you're on this journey, you are saying, it's me. I am the one that is making this uncomfortable. I am the one that doesn't actually believe in unity. I am the one that is afraid to get over this trauma. I am the one that makes them an ugly person. I am the one that makes them unacceptable for this situation. Whatever it is. I'm the one shooting them out the door because I can't see God in them. Of course, we can go and say, oh yeah, but that's what you do as God too. You know, you got to accept that you go pushing people out the window. Yes, that's fine. You can. But you're never going to recall the reality of who you actually are. You're instead succumb to this, say, past trauma. You're succumb to these hardships. You're succumb to these things that you're, in your past, projecting it onto them. And saying, you are this way, not God. You are that way, not God. And you go into relationships, I am this way, not God. I am this way, not God. When all of it is true. It's perfectly acceptable. You know, you can have whatever favorite color you want. You can like onions or not. It doesn't make a difference in the world. It's about the fact that who are you really? This is what changes relationships. From the special relationship to the holy relationship is, do you use it for discovering truth? Do you use it for wanting to come into the recollection of God? Do you use it? Meaning, oh, I hate them. Oh, I hate that. Oh, wait, I hate myself. Oh, I'm actually sharing this with them. I'm reading their mind more than I like to admit. They are saying, oh, I hate them. Oh, I don't want to be with them as much as you are. And you might not realize it, and it might not be as straightforward, and they might not admit it, but in the recognition that you share this experience, this is what you're for. You're for this. You're in this difficult situation, and the thing you have to be with, you're like, oh, we have to work together. And you ever be in a class or anything, and you're like, there's this one person you just can't get along with, and the teacher's like, okay, we're going to pair up. And who are you going to pair up with? We're going to assign, oh, guess what? It's them! Oh, why is that? Oh, we're going to do that right now. No, I'm just kidding. But it just so happens that things are not working in the way you like to think they are. But you're getting paired up, or someone's getting involved in a situation or ceremony or something, and you don't want to accept them to be a part of the ceremony or something. And the whole experience is because you have something there, traumatic, about your mother or something, and that you can't get past to see them or recall them as they actually are. So it does take a little pressure when you're in this journey. If you want to awaken, it does take some diligence, some determination. It's some grit, right? Some toughness on yourself. No one else is going to force you. Are you willing to push yourself a little bit? Not force yourself, but push yourself to a little bit more acceptance because you want to be accepted. A little more openness because you actually want to be open. We're not just going to say it, but we do a lot of that. We're not just going to speak it and share it, but we do a lot of that. We're going to live it. We want to live it through our experiences with everyone. for anybody that is really a devotee to the practice of coming to awakening, coming to awareness of the totality of what God is, has to be determined, has to want it above all else. For that's what I would say to myself on my journey before my death experience. I want to know you, God. Above all else, I want to know you. I want to experience you. I want to feel you. I want to see you. Was it always successful? No. But when it's not successful, what do I find? I find where I am covering myself, saying, no, I'm not God right now. No, I can't see the truth right now. I'm going to hide behind my trauma. I'm going to hide behind my fear. I'm going to say, oh, their energy is off, so now I'm almost obligated. I have to stand up for, oh, their bad energy is my righteousness. And that's perfectly acceptable. It's partly part of the tears and the lessons of the stairway to heaven. But the actual experience to get there can't be any sort of, it's on them, they did it, because there is no one else. That what you are is one with God. And so if you see something that is not one with God, you are not one with them in your experience. Therefore, there's you and, I don't know, probably the devil right now, right? But you're making them apart from you. And they have a will of their own. Not my will. No, my will's of God, right? Their will is, I can't agree with them. So we have to recognize and admit, I can't see their truth. I am unable to see their truth. I actually believe they're bad. I actually believe there's something wrong with them. I believe that their energy is off. They're bad. They disagree. They don't like me. I believe that I'm going to get kicked out. I believe that something's going to happen that's bad. I can't see you, God. And life becomes a prayer. Life becomes the prayer. Not just quietly in your bedroom. Life becomes the prayer. God is everywhere. God is in everything. And it might be seemingly faking it till you make it. It might be kind of hiding for a little while. It might be difficult. That's perfectly acceptable. But to recognize, using this, essentially, this logic, to realize, to discover where it is that I hide behind, where is it that I distort my reality with. I can't recognize where to apply forgiveness. I can barely understand where forgiveness or what forgiveness is if I can't see where does it actually need to be applied. So take that with you. Try this week. Try today. Try it in the next half an hour. To just say, oh, I see you, God. I believe you're this. I believe you're bald. I believe you're something. Any of it, all of it is wrong. Because I am a magnificent liar. And I'm distorting my reality and I can't see you. I want to see you. That's spirituality. That's determination. I want to see you. I want to know you. I'm sorry. I keep screwing it up. But I'm going to try again like a phoenix. Thank you.
asleep, God, not in bed, right in life, right in the middle of your presence. I blink and I divide, you stand right in front.
I keep missing you, even when you're right here. I wanna see you, God, not as an idea, I repeat, not as a comfort in the dark, but as a presence in the street. I wanna know you, God,
Not just in my quiet room,
but in the middle of my triggers.
when my mind screams, not you.
I wanna feel you in them,
God in the face that rubs me wrong,
in the voice that makes me bristle,
in the place I don't belong.
because my mind has a habit,
A ruthless little skill, it turns your living rival into them enemy.
and
I wanna see you, God.
so my mind cannot pretend you aren't here.
I wanna